The revamped affinities, the revamped augments, and the reworked alluvials now all in game here for both Gauntlet and or the augments aren't a part of Ascendant, but for Ascendant for the alluvials as well. But of course, it means we also have Ascendant in the game now. This is how we're going to kind of split today's stream up a little bit. The first hour, we're going to do all Ascendant. We're going to keep on trying this out. I have a bunch of placement matches that I do have to play. So I'm looking forward to trying this out. This is exciting for me. Both Gauntlets and Ascendant is going to be basically me relearning the game. Because essentially now that the way the class system and the affinity system works, I have to start from scratch. I'm basically just going to be using the alluvials that I like and kind of seeing how it goes from there. Second half of the stream is going to be the Gauntlet side of things. So we'll see how it goes there. Looking forward to playing some more Gauntlet. Now that bots as well scale with who's in the lobby, there's a little bit of an average in level and stats, I believe, depending on the level of every player in the lobby. But I'm talking about bots. I want to be actually playing people, and I imagine this new patch is probably going to be bringing some more people in there, hoping for some full lobbies, even if that means I'm getting absolutely torpedoed in the lobby. An additional thing to note, you may notice up in the top left-hand corner, XP Boost is online. I did get the 7-day version. Thankfully, my time with the ranked leaderboards and with Illuvium Zero has given me the fuel to be able to do so. So if you wanted to pick this up for yourself, in the shop, down at the very bottom, there is XP Boost. You may notice, as of right now, there is just the 2x version, but didn't the testnet patch say something about a 6x? That sounds like it's still being worked on. So that's why, personally, I got the 7-day. And I'll probably just keep doing the 7-day until the bigger one does come out, because if I'm going to full commit my fuel onto something, I want it to be the 6x or the higher value one. But for today, we've got the 2x experience boost there. Once you get it, it pops up in the top left-hand corner like you see. There's a few things to note, though. First, getting into Ascendant. One thing that I do hope that gets fixed into another patch or gets worked on for another patch is switching the game modes by these arrows is not that obvious for somebody who didn't play the testnet and like knew this was a thing. So if I'm a brand new player or a returning longtime player, and I hop into Arena, I'm going to see Gauntlet, I'm going to queue up thinking I'm going into Ascendant, then I end up in the 8-player mode. I'm not realizing that these arrows, it's not as obvious as a way of changing game modes. So I hope that there's another system. I think before it was like Gauntlet was on the right side, Ascendant was in the middle or something along the lines, then we had Survival, 07's to Survival. But some sort of way to better distinguish how you change game modes within the arena. One thing that also did not get announced either in-game, or I don't think even in the Discord announcement either, but you have to reset your team planner, which I took the time ahead of stream to be able to reset all of my alluvials, which ones I'm going to be using. One thing to note that is a known issue currently being worked on is that the baby links and the middle stage links for some reason can't be selected right now. That is a known issue. It is being worked on. But it was a wake-up call for me because I realized that I just hadn't gone through my team planner in a while. So even though I had these better alluvials that I had caught in the overworld at the last minute, or maybe a couple of those last-second fusions I did during the final Fuse Fest, I didn't have them set in the team planner. So I have a lot of good alluvials that are actually like level 1 or level 20 or something along those lines. So in terms of myself as a competitor, I am basically going to be as average as it gets, with a lot of my alluvials being around 20, 30. So if you want a good, I guess, gauge as to how heavy the ownership side of things is going to, like, the ownership changes is going to hit you, we'll see what happens when I play up against maybe some of my regulars a little bit later who have those level 60s. Meanwhile, I'm on 20s and 30s and maybe a couple 40s if I'm lucky. We'll see how that goes. Without further ado, let's try this Ascendant thing. One thing also to note that is a known issue, it is being worked on right now, but for whatever reason, the Ranger and Drone skins are not showing up as selectable. That's why I am having my Brightland Steps skin on, because this was done through the Battle Pass. The game did find this one. So I've got my Brightland Steps one online. But it is a known issue. It will be fixed. You didn't lose your skins. It's just not showing up. It will come back. Double check everything here while we're queuing up for a match. Make sure everything's going okay. YouTube side of things, looks like all is good. Did this actually get fixed for the X side of things? For the last couple of times here on X, it would make a stream say that I'm going live, but then not actually post it. And it looks like that's still going to be the case, so that's extremely frustrating. And then on the Twitch side of things, are we good to go? It looks like all systems functional. There we go. Dashboard's all up here. There we go. Kind of surprised with how long it is taking to find just one person. This is definitely going to be a learning experience for essentially all of us. I know, for example, I kind of touched on it in the intro, but the fact that there's no more big bonus effects for hitting max threshold on certain affinities and certain classes anymore, this is gonna be so weird, because I would always rush, say, 5 bulwark, for example, right? Because, oh, getting 4 bulwarks, yeah, sure, you have a lot of tankiness, but if you get the 5th one, then you'd get the reflective damage. And they would hit themselves when they hit you. That's no longer the case, of course. So, it's just all just raw stats. You can actually kind of build your composition more so to what everybody else is doing, rather than having your own, like, strict deck of sorts. I don't know. It'll be a learning experience, that's for sure. I'm curious, if I were to go to a game, or not a game, but to a site like, say, Data Kings, does Ascendant matches show up as watchable? It appears like they do. That's cool. Actually, I can't necessarily find them now that I think about it. I see... There was some at the top. I don't know. I can't necessarily show you what I'm talking about, but in theory, there should be some matches happening. I was debating on maybe hopping in to spectate one. I'm very surprised that it's taking so long for a game to actually show up. Oh, there we go. Just as I was getting concerned, now we can get on in here. Who do we got? First match of the day, first try at Ascendant. And we have Squawk. Sure enough, I was just making a comment onto my last video. Squawk was saying they're going to try Ascendant. I said I'd see you there in a few minutes. And oddly enough, they're going to be the first one that I run into. So right off the rip, This is interesting, but I also have, again, I have to be careful because I have every single one of these movements that I make after round 1 will actually cost me credits to do. So as much as I just want to kind of recklessly throw my alluvials down and, oh, I can replace them later, that might not actually be the case at all. So due to the start that I just had, there is a lot of firepower onto my side, so I will go for fire at least off the start. We'll see what Squawk ends up doing here. Little bit of a mixture, but they do have a couple of evolved alluvials off the start. And then hopefully my weapon selection will allow me to kind of keep going this way. Of course, I don't need 6 fire to max out anymore. And maxing out, I mean, it's a big jump from 40% attack damage to 70. That is kind of huge. So optimally, finding a Theriax at some point here would be kind of crazy. Or heck, this might actually line up beautifully. Getting the boomerang makes it nice, but again, I don't want to spend credits right now by moving. Squawk is probably going to beat me up for a little bit, but I think I'm actually going to be completely content with that. Yeah, I'll let Squawk beat me up again. I played a couple of rounds on the test net, and at least to me personally, taking my Gauntlet style and then transferring it over into Ascendant did do pretty well, where I'm completely content losing multiple rounds off the rip to then allow for the crazier late game. And we'll see here in a second, because you get a lot of credits every single round. So getting any sort of interest on top of that just makes it that much nicer. Squawk is going to beat me up 100%. If I lost the last round, I'm 100% going to lose this one as well. Basically 2 more losses in the tank. Let's see what we get. Invulnerable's not terrible. Crit chance and amp, that's not terrible either. Omni Vamp, I like the idea there. And now we can kind of start cooking. So let's get up to level 5. I can bring 1 more alluvial on here if I would like to. Okay, Curl is here. I can put on the Valente for just a second. Now, if I'm looking for Fury, I need to go down to 50. I'm going to get a couple of alluvials just to try and hold the line for just a little bit. But it's not going to stay this way, I promise. This looks stupid right now, and I agree that it is. This is going to take some learning. It's going to be the next round where, in theory, I'm going to lose right here, and then it's the next round where it's essentially all or nothing. And if not, it was a quick game, and we can try all over again. I'm not going to pretend like I'm some sort of perfect expert right off the rip here. I'll explain my justifications, but if my justification is wrong, then it is what it is. Having that 5 fire, of course, is allowing for some big additional damage. 70% currently being shown. And it's keeping it much more even here. How much gold or credit does Squawk have? Right alongside me, maybe a little bit more. A very close battle, but Squawk will win this one anyway, it looks like. So now it's time to go. It's either shape up now or get skunked. We'll get the stun. Let's get the level. I think I need another level. Level 8 here to get my best chance for some tier 4s. Ramfy is here. Let's get rid of Valente. Bring Ramfy in. And then we got another. Let's see. You can leave. You can join. Become Inferno Arcanite. Keep doing something along these lines. And leave. I have a lot of fire now. Potentially healthy. Let's see. So you jump. You can come through. Unfortunately, did not hit any of my level ups. In fact, kind of concerning. Don't have much time here. And yeah, I'm probably going to be cooked. That was a lot faster than I was expecting. We've got 8 fire, but by finding no ace, we do end up losing the chance at Inferno, which would have been very, very helpful. We still got lots of firepower, but is it going to be able to actually burn through that Zephyr Lynx that we do see over in the southern side of the arena? My ace is about to get forced to kind of tank that. We've got the numbers advantage, but I mean, that is a lot of power again onto that Lynx. We are going to get lucky and hang on by a thread. Very, very scrappy. Fighter imprints for maybe a little bit of attack speed for the team might not be a bad idea. In theory, it would just be better off actually grabbing the lightning speed. Tier 4s for attack damage and resistances. I think I'm just going to go for lightning speed just to keep it simple. Now we've got the Inferno Arcanite side on, so this is actually a nice little spike. What can I use to maybe buff this up even more, potentially, in just another road? How about... Sure, this works. Okay, Furiox, come on down. We have another fighter here with Riptor. I have way more fire than I actually need to have. Potentially, I don't want to drop a fighter, but maybe I can drop a rogue. Oh, I'm not sure. Do something like that. Now that we got the Inferno online, but look at all these tanky bodies here now, here for Squawk. Extremely terrifying squad. Yeah, my guys aren't doing anything in regards to damage. He will get crushed right here, right now, but hey, it's a nice quick game. And oddly enough, this is probably what's going to allow me to experiment with team compositions very often. How does experience work here? So for that very, very quick little game, about 145 experience, again, with the booster on. So it's not a whole heck of a lot, but again, this also wasn't a very long game. One thing also to note, even though this is a placement match, I did lose rating. So, something to keep in mind, not the end of the world. Just keep firing away. Hey, second place not too bad, but it's Ascendant, so it's only a one-on-one. Patsico Perico, hello, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day so far. Loading up, we got Coyote hype this time. Hello, Coyote. Alright, right off the rip. Do I want to try something maybe a little bit different? I mean, this is the fun of it. These are quick games. I can experiment. I don't have to fear that sticking with a certain composition is gonna, like, I'm gonna be stuck with it for the next 40 minutes or so, or 20 minutes or so. Just have fun with it, try stuff. If it works, if it works. If not, what did I lose? Everybody got a little bit of experience and it wasn't too heavy. Hector, hello, hello. Hope you're having a fantastic day as well. Good to see yous. And Coyote is just going to absolutely push my team right where it hurts. And this is kind of where I was thinking. I got a few ways to do this. I can't... Okay, Coyote actually picked up the air fighter weapon. I'm going to go for the Ember Bulwark this time. Where am I going with this? Your guess is as good as mine, but we'll have some fun with it. We'll see. I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to get myself to max interest. But I do wonder if maybe I mean, it's only been one game, so... Oof. I just need my desk. Earthquake over here. Whoopsie. What was I saying? I'm curious if maybe taking too much damage early for the sake of economy is just way too greedy of a playstyle. I only have the one game as a sample size, but have to see. And oh, I forgot, of course, Apon, it doesn't actually buff my allies anymore, so I'm sitting here thinking that I was just going to kind of build a upfront thing that's going to get damage boosts, but that's not exactly how that works at all. Yeah, I'll go for the attack speed bonus. Atlases, you're welcome to join. Bring you onto the front lines. Still have room for one more potentially. Bring you in here. Luca, my favorite little stun bot. And then potentially, can we maybe find Archie? Finding a couple of alluvials that I would love to use. Okay, so Apon's actually, like, at least to me, is in a very rough spot in the current game with the way it's currently set up. It's quickly going to scoop up the Caradulo and stay above 60. Shall we play ranked? This is ranked in regards to Ascendant, but if you're referring to Gauntlet, at the half point of the stream, so in about 30 minutes or so, I'm going to transition from all Ascendant to all Gauntlet. So we'll hop in there. If you want to hop in for Gauntlet then, absolutely. Is there no deck anymore? No. Ascendant is basically Turbo Gauntlet, if that makes sense. Auto Mega gain shield. We'll take that. Eddie, come on through. 30% for tier 3s. I think this is kind of where I want to get moving. Let's see. Okay, Archie, good to see you. There we go. Caradulox, good to see you. There we go. Axon, welcome. Keep on scooping them up because I am within kill shot now. Definitely need to get moving here. Aegis online. 20 seconds still to go. Eddie Winks. The fact that I've not been able to actually get my Revo, but at the same time Coyote Hype went for Revo as well. So that was a big spend, but it's hopefully going to be enough to keep us into the game. Coyote Hype's actual alluvials themselves, again, Coyote Hype's been around for a while, been leveling these up for quite some time. A couple of their big alluvials into the 50s, it looks like. So I definitely need some strong evolutions to keep myself into game, which it looks like here on round 4 we're going to be able to do so. Good luck, thank you so much. After 10 seconds, healing 20% max health might be an interesting way to play it. Yeah, I think so. Let's see, I've got 3s, and I've got 1s. Honestly, these are all the things that I want to level. Do also want to scoop up maybe Gnarl if I can. Okay, there's one. Finally getting the Dust online. here with Revo if I wanted to go that route. Okay, okay, we've got a little bit of blending of alluvials. They know that that's an issue. Okay, another Aegis, but I don't have to worry about moving because that's not how Aegis works anymore. Okay, Kukaraf, welcome. How can I optimize what I have here? I think we sell you off, get one more level in. This way we can get Verdant online. So this is going to be the 5 bulwark with Verdant. I've got a bunch of air online here as well. Is there anything that I could potentially get? Not exactly. Would love to throw another dust online, but I don't have the credits to actually pull that off. Let's see how this goes. Kukaraf is going to be taking the dash, but at least it's just a dash. Blotto getting chunked pretty hard, but where is that dust proc? There it comes, and we also get that second wind, keeping the team topped off. And actually, this isn't too bad, even though we have Coyote Hype's Rip Lance tearing me a new one, level 60, nicely trained as well. And it's still keeping itself into the fight, but this is actually such a tanky squad. I'll say I'm picking up air for dodge chance, but I'm forgetting it's not actually dodge chance anymore. It's energy resistance, which is keeping me in the game here. Max health as energy damage? Sure, let's give it a shot. Okay, I need 2 levels and get up to 10 now, I think. This allows me to get one more dust by bringing Revo onto the field. So it's a 3rd dust. Blinded for 7 seconds. That feels brutal, actually. I like that. And then, can we potentially... Oh, I just passed Vermilia twice. That's annoying. Yeah. I did not play that correctly, so I'm gonna have... Can I get rid of this? Yeah. You can tell the game knows that that isn't exactly how that was supposed to play out. So that isn't going to be proper. In theory, I should have Vermilion Air, but at the same time, because the Kuko is kind of just left there, it's not going to work. And then Ador, you can come join as well for some healing. And unfortunately, just kind of wrecked myself by trying to take advantage of that bug. So note, that is not something that works. It might say you have the credit, but the game knows that the credit's not actually supposed to be there. So good. Coyote Hype, I need to beat them twice here. We're both level 10 now. Watch what happens once this dust kicks in, though. They're just going to have such a tough time doing really anything, and it's allowing my team to just be an unstoppable, unbreakable wall. My Ador does go down, but we're slowly whittling away at everybody on Coyote Hype's team as well. One more shot if we can maybe take them down. Let's see. Starting energy potentially. Fighter. No, we don't need that. Empath. We already have 5 empath. That's pretty good. Crit chance. No. Attack speed potentially. Or physical resistance? I mean, given the Rip Lance and the tier 5 damage dealers on the other side, I think I'm going to take the resistance. And see if I can maybe make one final push to level up some of my alluvials here. Maybe switch Ador out for the Mammoth if I can't get it evolved. We do end up getting it evolved, though, so that's 1 for Spore, potentially. I need to find one more Vermilia to get that properly online. Not going to be able to find it, it looks like, though. Yeah, I did not hit anything that I was looking for. So this team, as it stands, is going to be the one that has to try and win me the rounds, or win me the entire game, because next fight wins. Let's see it. The fact that dust no longer is like attached to the alluvials themselves, though, is pretty crazy. Just everybody on the board gets blinded. Okay, lots of movement here for Coyote Hype. Let's see how this goes for them. Blotto got absolutely smoked. Good shot there from the Sinnoh, but it does get interrupted. Blind all over the place. Of course, Coyote Hype has blind now as well. Can't remember if they had it in the last round or not. Yeah, Blotto got chunked, but it doesn't matter. We're still hanging in there. And it's still holding on. Just the absolute unstoppable wall. So Dust Verdant is going to be the team that ends up getting me my first win here. GG's Coyote Hype. That was a very close one. Now, let's see how the experience goes. For a win, a lot more experience now this time. A couple hundred compared to the 160 from all of my losses in the first game. GG. But no, so far, like, I find this really fun as a training ground for what I eventually want to do in Gauntlet. And the one more game or not syndrome, but having that urge for one more game over and over again. I can definitely feel it. And as somebody who's consistently needing to take their attention away to go deal with in real life things, playing with the kiddos or whatnot, something that's only a couple minutes, this is fun. I'm enjoying it. Can't wait to try this out in Gauntlet, though. Yeah, Fox Spirit has been essentially power leveling to try and see what the amount of experience gained throughout Gauntlets can be now. And it's looking like they're getting anywhere from 19,000 experience to 28,000 experience for playing Gauntlet. So I'll tell you what, if you're trying to specifically power level, Gauntlet definitely seems to be the way to go. One thing I also found a little bit surprising, and I could be overthinking this, which it's me, I probably am, but in the last announcement saying that the patch went live, they had made the mention that like Ascendant is live and Ascendant leaderboards will be returning soon. They made no mention of Gauntlet. So I'm very curious going into the first set of rewards if there's not going to be any Gauntlet rewards? Is it just going to be strictly Ascendant? Again, as always, no official announcement. It's all just speculation. But it was interesting the way they worded that, to say the least. Peeking at Data Kings, but I don't see a way to actually spectate Ascendant magic. Interesting. Oh, speaking of Fox Spirit, there he is. Hello. Good luck, have fun. Don't kill me too bad. If you want an example of how ownership is going to absolutely destroy somebody, let's watch how this match turns out. So I'm going to give Fox Spirit my best right here, right now, with team comps that I don't experiment on. No, this has been my team comp for basically as long as I can remember. Let's give him my absolute very, very best here. No experiments this time. 4% shield compared to 8 Omega power compared to health. I think I like health for the start here. Alright, Fox. Already has an Ascendant on the field, and look at this beauty. Level 60. Almost perfect. Literally just missing a little attack speed. Movement speed you don't care about. Even though I have the numbers advantage, I don't feel like I'm in the lead. And we can see exactly why. Look at this absolute beast work. Gonna knock everything out except the Ascendant, it looks like. Oh no, even the Ranger's gonna stick into the game. Which, if I recall correctly, Rangers actually have levels 2. I just don't know how to check that. It might be a Gauntlet thing. Alright. The game's giving me my team. I've got the Emberling Rod. Again. Okay, hit me. That's fine. And no rolls, no buying, no nothing. But I do kind of worry a little bit here. If Fox wants to, he can take a handful of the units that I'm also kind of going for. That is the Caradulo already there. We've got Axon, of course, already there. So my traditional front line is there. But to try and hold the line, I'd need air, and air has no bulwarks. So I'd have to go for something nature instead. Which maybe that move can be made in just a second. We'll take that shot. Now, two more lives left. Tier 5, not what I'm looking for. Thorns, not what I'm looking for. The Omega Power Starting Shield, I think we'll give that a shot. Let's level up to the point where I'm getting... So 30% on Tier 3s and a decent chance at Tier 1s. Now I've actually got to find them. There we go. That's one of them that I'm looking for. Kling, you can join the fight. Scarabok, you can join the fight. Missing out on a lot of these alluvials. Hetty, you can join too. Oh, I've already moved it, so I might as well commit. Shoot. Tighten up this box ever so slightly. Something along those lines. I would love to have a TNT right now. Not going to get it. I'm going to have to try something different, but I don't even have the room for... Can't do that. I'm going to have to spend money to do it. So this could be yet another loss, it looks like. I've got at least a little bit more bulwarks here that are at least the right nature, or not the right nature, but the right affinity to try and hold the line a little bit better. But I doubt that's still going to be enough to actually stop this squad. Exalted Gorilla Pets. There we go. I was going to say, there's no way that Fox is running a level 1. No, that was literally the clone. They watch the Mud Squad, or the startup here of a Mud Squad, just absolutely tear me through. Mud's, of course, a little bit different. It's just on start, enemies as a whole have reduced attack speed. One final shot. Second Blossom does the damage we're looking for. Okay, level. Squiz, get in there. I need to find my Scions badly. It's a Tofi. Or as much as I want to pick up the Archie and Gnarl, I can't necessarily do so. Bulk up the front line. Honestly thinking that we switch out Caradulo. Wildfire. Harbinger, but it does not really matter at all. I did not hit what I was looking for. And my style seems to be skunking me. We at least do get the Octius, but I'm not going to be able to stop that gorilla from jumping on through. Thankfully, it's at least just kind of diving amongst the tanks. I mean, it's a good little squad. Might be able to at least get a couple of eliminations this time. Did have the alluvial advantage, though. Fox Spirit's still sitting at level 6. Of course, if they're going for mud, that's probably why. And we very well might live this other round unless we can't breach this Ascendant. Oh, we're actually going to do it. Alright. I'm happy to take a round. Healing after 10 seconds, refunded energy cost, no hyper. Let's see. No. There is no big threshold anymore for free for Earth. I think we're just going to go for the healing after a couple seconds. Can I potentially find something here? There we go. We got Verdant now online as well. Potentially just beef my tanks up. Okay, we now have Granite online. So all my tanks are actually not in a bad spot. We then have these overlapping alluvials, which this has me nervous. If I sell one, is it going to even matter? Can't make an upgrade on either of my Scions, so definitely frustrating, but I could possibly get an upgrade onto Blotto. There it is. Just will it let me sell this? Okay, it does actually let me this time. We do have Aegis now online as well, which of course gives shields and resistances at certain health thresholds. Fox did end up getting the 4 mud, so that is a 40% decrease to my attack speed, but thankfully most of my damage is in my Scions. Granted, my Scions are not very strong. I don't have any of those stage 3s, those fully evolved, but we do at least have the backup of Verdant now as well. Try and keep us healthy, but Fox did level up a bunch in this round. Just trying to out-tank this, but my tanks are falling. Granted, the Verdant's been procced, but it's taking so long for my Octius to find any of these casts. Did the root just stop that one? Okay, yeah, we're cooked. That's it. I could have at least started to snowball by killing off that Caradulo, but we got rooted right as that Octius shot was going on, which is impressive because that is a very quick cast. GG's, Fox. Shall fall this time by. And the loss, of course, hurts a little bit more. Only about 200 experience for that one. We still got about 15 minutes here for the Ascendant portion of the stream. At 11 o'clock my time, so about 17 minutes from now, I'm going to switch on over to Gauntlet and see how that plays out. See if I can get 2, maybe 3 games, if we're lucky, depending on queue times. But I will say, with the new ownership, as we got Fox once again. Let's see, do I want to try and repeat, but maybe try a different economy style, maybe? Now, does my Lynx actually have stats? It does, actually. Okay. Potentially this to start us off. I see Fox dancing around. He wants to get and move on. Nice little catch onto the Valente is a nice start, but again, it's that little axe, or at least it's not an Axon this time, but it's now a little Atlas. Can we potentially burn through? No, we're gonna get right at the very end, right as the shield comes out. It was a good start. Then we got cooked. Let's try Aqua Blaster. Well, tried and true. Try and play this out a little bit differently. Like, I don't want to go all in on spending, but I also feel like maybe I'm putting myself way too far behind, way too consistently, if that makes sense. Again, this is just the whole portion of the relearning side of things here with this game, with the way things have changed. Especially Ascendant hasn't, or doesn't play the same way that it used to. But the air fighter weapon this time. Of course, if I'm going for something heavy, water is going to absolutely cook me. Find it. Omega cost, tier 3s, no thank you. Fighter, no thank you. Healing, no. Energy resistance, that's all physical, so no, I guess we're going for this. Sell the links. Put Atlas up there, one more level. And I potentially build my tank line a little bit here. Okay, there's another. There's Archie as well. Okay, a couple evolutions. Do have Toxic now online, at least. I'm gonna level up one more time to squeak Archie in there. And let this roll. I'm gonna try and hover around 40 credits and see how this differs compared to all ending at 70. This is mainly a 4-fighter comp, so 25% additional attack speed there. And they're still able to shred on through. What level were they? If I'm level 6, they're also level 6. Granted, they spent everything. But there's no more tries. I need, let's say, stay here. This is probably my best chance to kind of get what I want going. Do have Eddie here as well now. Blue, Atlas. Archie one more time. There we go. Potentially go for Squiz. I'm not going to find any of it. Squiz again. Never mind about Caribou. Okay, we've got Harbinger now. Now we actually find a dash, but this is, I feel like, too late. Find another. Yeah, I'm gonna get cooked right there. So, ugh. I don't like it. Off. I tried to move the Grocco out so I can throw the Squiz online, and that didn't work. In theory, I should get absolutely clobbered here. There's the second wind coming in for a little bit of assistance, but what's really annoying, because I let this dang Verminio into the backline for free, now my main carry being the Tianti, it's got that Omega power reduction stuck on it for the entirety of this round. We might get away with it just off of the numbers, but it's not going to be an easy one, even still. Yeah, that was extremely close. Well, at least we got a second chance at life here. Mega power for shield, empath. We could potentially use empath. Let's try Omnivamp, especially now that we do have Rake online here. There is upgrade on the tank. How do I want to do this? Kind of played myself into a corner. Let's level up a bit. Let's move you here. Which one is my good Squiz? I mean, either of them are great, but at least this one has some levels on it. something like that. Can I bring you back here, potentially? No, I don't have the credits to do so. Try and fill this gap, just so that they're not getting jumped on. Optimally, I'd love to have steam, but I do not have any fire. I don't have the flare or anything along those lines. Let's see if new Rake can get the job done. Of course, it doesn't go untargetable anymore, but it does at least get that 100% dodge chance. And still does a great job of hitting multiple targets. Omnivamp did well, but as you can see, since the aggro does not go away, they're able to actually focus it down. Only now are they actually getting onto my tanks. A good shot there from the Squiz. I wish it was an Octius at this point here, but it's not going to happen. And it looks like we will end up falling. There's just too much damage. GG's once again, Fox Spirit. So I'm managing to get one win. Oh, I like the new little level up animation that shows up. The little wave of electricity or whatever that was. Makes it a little bit more obvious that I leveled it. Yeah, I've got a lot of learning to do, and honestly, that excites me. That really does excite me. One more time, Ascendant. Yeah, all these games are taking less than 10 minutes, so it works out. I'll be able to get all my placements done right off the rip here. Quickly peeking at the Discord. I'd gotten pinged, so I was just making sure all was good. Let's squeak in one more here. If the queue takes too long, then we'll just switch on over to Gauntlet if it hits 11 o'clock. Because yeah, either after this game or if 11 o'clock hits, we'll switch on over. A couple rounds of Gauntlet. Of course, all the augments got swapped up there as well, so I'm curious to see how that worked out. I find it kind of crazy that the old phase breaker, the one where it did allow you to break targeting or break your focus, procs twice now as a support augment. That'll be kind of crazy. Oh, good. But again, reminder for maybe those just tuning in who haven't quite hopped into the patch yet, a couple things to keep an eye on or take note of. If you wanted to play Ascendant mode, it's a little arrow next to the Gauntlet mode. That does not show up or Ascendant doesn't show up by default, Gauntlet does. So there's a little arrow right beside where on the top of the corner where it says Green Ascendant ranked right now. That's where it would normally say Gauntlet. That's how you switch on over to Ascendant. A lot of people have been coming in to try and play that 1v1 mode, not seeing how you actually switch the game mode. Another thing too, for those that own Alluvials, your team planner has been reset. Use this as an opportunity to go through your team and make sure you have exactly who you want being leveled and who you want to be playing with on the field. I know personally, I got myself rather surprised because I was leveling a lot of wrong Alluvials, where I had better ones on the bench that just weren't getting leveled, which was a little bit frustrating, but took advantage of the opportunity to be able to do so. And of course, XP boosters are now in the shop, specifically the 2x ones for a few days. We have Vine Holes, hello, good luck, have fun. Okay. Starting off, we'll go for Bulwark. I do like the additional HP aspect. The Bulwark's off the start here. And my T-bow's actually not bad. Let's give it some airtime here. Yeah, let's do something like that. Oh, I have a little symbol above my head. Does it show that I have the XP booster on? Is that what's going on? Interesting. Can other people see that? Or is that just me? Alright, so Bindhole's already picked up Archos, so I think Goyle is going to have to sit out this time. We got absolutely crushed. What are you rocking with? Okay, so levels is manageable, but you do definitely have some strong alluvials there. It looks... Again, I can't actually peek and see what they're playing, so let's see what options are. We do have the Aqua Blaster, but if they're going for grass, it's probably not the greatest of ideas. Maybe let's try fire one more time. Or at least some sort of style of fire. Put you back this way. Get rid of the empath. Get rid of this. Let's try to pull the Lynxes away from Archos. Let's bring it back, actually. This gives me 10% fire, adding one more for another. Set it up something like that. There we go. Force them to move far enough to the point where at least Archos can't heal everything for free. While my team doesn't have a heck of a lot of damage, it should still be enough. And one of the alluvials that I've been kind of neglecting in terms of leveling is my Chuko. I'd argue, a pretty good little Chuko, but it's just a little guy. So I've never really focused on actually leveling them. And I tell you what, if I did, this fight would be won, but I'm definitely behind on levels, so that's going to cost me that time. 100%. Max health, no. Scion, no. Fighter, maybe potentially could have done it. Or Omega Power. Probably should have just gone for the shield. I'll try energy cost. Yeah, level up. This gets me a lot of level tier 1 still. What am I shooting for? I probably want a lot of tier 3. So let's shoot up one more time. There's 30% now. I can then add fire. Fire. I should have grabbed the Caradulo. What am I doing? And Chuko is here. Okay. Am I wrong for just holding so much gold? Should I just be rolling? You know what? Let's get reckless. Let's try it. Okay, there we go. I mean, it's definitely working out. Hoping to find the ace. I'm not going to be able to do so until the very end. Get rid of Tiru. I'll take this, so that can be Inferno Arcanite online for the next round. But we got to get there. I do have the alluvial advantage, and because I spent a lot, I might have a much better chance here. A beautiful little Ember Lynx over there. Nice find. Just one shot my Ranger. This might still be a loss here, actually. Yeah, we're gonna lose this. Damn. It was close. But a one-on-one, an Apon versus a Lynx, I think we all know how this one's gonna turn out. That Apon's gonna get absolutely smoked. And now I'm down to one final shot again. Okay, let's level. Bring the ace in. Apon's not doing literally anything. Optimally, I get a Heady here. one away from an ace, potentially, and also with... Okay. Okay. Chuko can go. Fury, join. Inferno Arcanite. Anything cheap I can sell? There we go. There's the... I would say Wildfire, but we don't have Wildfire anymore. I accidentally moved, so I have no credits now. If I'm lucky, maybe I can move up into a Monarch next turn. But only if I'm lucky. This'll be tough. Let's see how it goes. Bring the fire down. Thankfully, Rampy did get its Omega off before it died, which was quite nice. Pinehole's also leveled up, though, to 7, so there is no more alluvial advantage here for me. They do have Aegis. My ace has already been taken down, and I just got absolutely slaughtered this game, it looks like, even though, in theory, going up against what looked like a nature-based team as fire should have been the answer. Of course, it's not all completely rock, paper, scissors here. I will be absolutely outplayed here. GG Bindholes. So without a single win, in theory, my experience gain should be, yeah, non-existent. So I didn't earn anything for that one. Yeah, that one hurt. GG's though. All right. We've hit the halfway point, so we will hop into Arena Gauntlet. Get on moving here in just a moment's time. We're here in the middle of the stream. I do also want to make one ask, of course, or I guess two asks while we wait for this next game here. First off, for anybody who happens to be new to the channel, regardless of which platform you happen to be on, whether it be following on X or Twitch or subscribing on YouTube, it would definitely mean the world to me if you're able to do so, because it does help me out a ton, keeps me pushing to make more Illuvium content, and pushing for what I'm hoping to get 500 subscribers sometime in the relatively near future. We're at 125 right now. Definitely a lot better than we were last year. But I'm going to keep on pushing anyway. As long as I'm still having fun with this, you'll keep seeing me here making Illuvium content. Then, of course, if you happen to be fueling up, whether you're picking up the XP booster for yourself, or maybe you're fueling up for the Illuvium Beyond set that's coming out next week, and you want to give me a little bit of a thank you in the form of a little bit of a kickback, no extra charge to you, there is a spot in the profile for the Illuvidex now. When you click on your profile on the top right, there is a section now for referral codes. I do have one. Silent will allow you, or will help me rather, when you do make a purchase on Illuvium Beyond sets, for example. And not mandatory by any means. Make sure you have your favorite creator, whichever creator you want, in there. But if you happen to use mine, I definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much. We've got a pretty much full lobby, I think, here. Pretty close to... Oh, no, there's a few bots in here, but it showed up as a player. Interesting. Let's take a look. We got Spartak for sure. We've got Sota. Sota, you just said you're coming. Well, good timing. You made it on in. Antoshino. Okay, so this is going to be a tough top 4 for sure. But I'm curious as to how these bots will play now, since... in theory, they should actually have some stats or some levels to their name. Of course, have I forgotten already? We do have the different augments. No longer are you going to miss the augment you want, because there's only 3 for each. Okay, bring the links in. Let's try this. Can I make my links just do an absolute nuke on somebody extremely early into this fight? Switch this over to Chugo, make you fire for the bonus damage, and see if I can just like nuke 3 alluvials nice and quick. Oh, look at that. That poor little Doka was not long for this world at all. And okay, yeah, you can see Turbo Peaker, I believe, is a bot? I could be wrong, though. If you're actually a player and I'm calling you a bot, I am so sorry. Because when I see players with no... capitalization, I assume that it's a bot. But those actually did have levels on them. So of course we have Sota in our game, which means how the hell do I protect myself against rogues? That is what I imagine is going to be coming on through here. As I get basically all rogue weapons, then I find two of my favorites. Let's see. I think water might be the play. And with this being a little bit different, Aegis is no longer the Aegis that I fell in love with. It's still cool, don't get me wrong. But it's definitely not the same. Let's do this in the traditional Leviathan fashion, where we double stack 2 Lynxes off the start. That's fine, they beat up the Lynx that I wasn't necessarily so worried about, but my Lynx's targeting was absolutely terrible. Did not focus down the low Doka. We're gonna barely, by the skin of our teeth here, actually get this win, though, at least. But Spartak holding their own quite nicely here. They've already got a Lynx on the bench there, the Stoic Lynx, so if I was thinking about potentially going for the fully evolved, I could have some competition. I'm never gonna say no to Omnivamp. Do get this, and of course, since this is not Ascendant, you can move your alluvials and all your pieces around without costing you any credits. Bring you down here. Do something like this with Chuko over on the side. So far, it's looking all right. And yeah, Throwables, I believe, is also a bot. And yeah, level 16. They've got Dark Hollows? What the heck? But this will assist with the leveling up as well, because I imagine getting experience from bots where they're always just level 1 was probably next to nothing. So actually playing against other alluvials that have at least a little bit of levels on them should help at least a little bit. Let's give Valente some airtime here. It's a nice little setup so far, at least, with having the Stoic Lynx having the additional HP after 10 seconds, and then the upfront burst for the first 10 seconds. It starts off as an absolute DPS monster, then transitions into a pure tank, essentially. Because I believe, if I recall correctly, yeah, it's just for the first 10 seconds. So that damage that you do get does eventually fall off. But if the damage is already done, then you're in luck. We're making good progress so far here with not taking a single loss. I imagine that's going to change very, very soon. But we've nearly got ourselves loaded up to that 70 point. Probably after this round here, we'll be there. What do we got for our component anomalies? Synergy, potentially just go for some more bulwark. I feel like just having more health in general is never a bad thing. Especially since this goes to your entire team now, it's not just the bulwark users. So I find that quite nice. Then in theory, here's the untargetable. Let's try this untargetable augment. As we go up against Antoshino. Let's make it so that the Lynx gets targeted down first. Something like that. Optimally, I should have leveled up to 5 here, so this was a little bit of an unfortunate miss. There's the first set of untargetables. And here comes some additional health as well. Focus down. The untargetable should come out again in theory. I don't think it did. Unless there's some sort of global cooldown that stops it from happening too quickly. I'm not sure. Either way, it was a little bit of a bad play because I didn't actually level my team properly. Let's try to get my tank line situated. Still finding Lynxes, even though I thought they were contested. Let's take Atlas out for just a second, just to enable Toxic. Here comes Sota. Not purely rogues, but they do have that gorilla going right for my ranger, so this isn't going to last very long, I don't think, here. Oh, wait, never mind. It dove away. We're good. The old gorilla would have absolutely stuck to that ranger like glue, but of course now it actually targets based off of distance instead of resistances, and that actually kind of saved my bacon. We look like we are going to fall once again here, though, so a little unfortunate. There is the Axon. Switch this up to a full bulwark lined up. At least get us started here. Potentially one more Lynx. Finding Alfie kind of early is kind of crazy, not gonna lie. There we go. Hello, beautiful. That is going to be the Stoic Zephyr Lynx. At least I do have this thing maxed out on health. Now that I've got my tank line essentially set, I need to start looking for damage, but I have not been able to find Totofi really at all. I know Soda has the one TNT, but I think that's it as of this moment. And it works so far. Let's see, we got the stun, we've got additional Omega power. I kind of like the stun, oddly enough. My Grocko is not very strong, so I think I am just going to switch it with Eddie. Toss these off. Let's level. Okay, Alfie, you can join us. You can become another Bulwark, even though it doesn't necessarily give me a bonus to do so. Let's get everybody in a diagonal line of scrimmage. Try and pull them away from Archos a little bit. Alright, Alfie, let's see your shot. That's a pretty good one. Heavy damage to one. And actually, there we go. Comboed up the Ranger quite nicely to take down two. We're sitting pretty, it looks like. Definitely going to be curious to see how the experience levels look compared to Ascendant. Energy resist is right there in front of me, and 30 is a lot. Wait, Soda's going for Scion? Didn't they have a... I don't remember which weapon they had first. I feel like I need the resistance then. I could absolutely be getting played, but we'll see. Level up to 7. There is actually a point to bringing my my old Totofi onto the field again, because there's no longer just thresholds. It's all just, no matter what, when you're putting in another alluvial of said type, you're getting a bonus of some sort. At least up to a point. Like, I have 6 bulwarks. That's a little bit of a misplay. I need to be switching that eventually. And this is where I think I make said change. So we do have dash on the board now. What I think I do Keep use spread for now. I want to keep the water. I think I'll take Gnarl out for now. Let's put Dash in. Didn't want to use that, but I guess I'm going to have to. Harbinger. Harbinger Dash incoming. Toxic Harbinger successful. And I can maybe move that untargetable augment from my links over to my dash. This may work out nicely, actually. So I still have a lot of credits, too. I'm supposed to be pushing towards 8. Alright. Soda's still completely undefeated as of right now. Damn. Where to go from here? Healing every couple seconds. Sure, we'll go for it. I don't really want to spend on the rogue stuff. We can put Playing back on for now. I can go for potentially health. I can't remember what the bruisers ones were. Health is damage. Actually, I feel like that's actually pretty good. Okay, let's put you over there then. There's a flare. Swap you for now. I'll grab a mammoth here as well. Up against throwables. We should be able to take this, I believe. Part of me is actually kind of happy that I didn't evolve up to Rake yet, because my dash does need some levels. It's only a level 20. So at least getting a couple of turns to fight and finding some winning rounds here is going to help me level this thing. Excuse me. As I'm kind of overflowing on bulwarks, I do need to take one of them off the field. The chip is actually making this a little bit more interesting. Not causing a problem, but making me think a little bit more. That's specifically what I have out here. Let's bring Mammoth onto the field. There's the steam aspect. One more of you, one of you. Okay, flare is set. There's another Alfie. Let's not dive directly into it. Let's take an outside walk first. Absolutely gonna crash this one. Yes, the last augment that I put onto my dash, the Reaping Impact Reactor, if we remember the old Restorating Impact Reactor, the one that gave you 8% healing and 8 resistances, I think it was, on every single takedown. This is basically just a nerfed version of that. And I wanted to see how it would work here with the new dash. We do finally get up to Rake. Do find our Sinolf as well. Not a bad little setup to start us off here. Rake, you take the middle and dive on through. Again, with the changes to the Rake, knowing that it doesn't go untargetable anymore, I don't want it to ever be the first one diving into the fight. I'd rather it kind of jump forward than walk its way in, because I don't want it to be targeted, at least not right away. So you can see, even the Rake as of right now, it is still stacking up those steam shots, but even still, it is nowhere near as impenetrable as it used to feel like. Okay. Mammoth upgrade. Hetty is here as well, potentially. Of course, this Omega power goes to everybody. That's what's interesting about this patch. You can be building like a full Scion team, for example, with a Rake, but the Rake still gets all of the benefits. The health, Mega power, regardless of what it happens to be. Go for resistance piercing. Still gonna try and finish out my Umber. And potentially Mammoth here as well. Getting a little greedy, going for a lot of things at once here. Going for another Bulwark chip does me absolutely nothing. Just better off going for Earth just to get the resistances, potentially. Speaking of resistances, let's try this here and just make this Lynx an absolute monster. Then give you those. And then this one here, let's see. Oh, they changed this a little bit. Shit. I did not see that. Big Man JB, hello. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Find the new meta yet? No, I'm just experimenting, throwing stuff at a wall and seeing what works. Trying a little bit of a mixture of Steam Harbinger with this game, but right now it is not going into my favor, at least in this fight. So now this augment here, so this is irritating because I just wrote a video explaining all of the augments and now it's immediately wrong. So the absorbing pulse reactor, this used to be stacking when you hit a shield. Now this is stacking when, or wait, no. Which one's stacking when you hit a shield again? Shoot. Do I need to reference my own video? I'm not gonna say anything because I might be just kind of trolling myself a little bit. Why'd I get a water chip when I'm already maxed out on water? Shoot. The old habits are kicking me here. Okay. Thing over here. Still have a Valente for some reason. Let's get rid of that. Mammoth. I mean, it gives Omega power, so I mean, I could still give it to TNT. How hard are the new stat boosts hitting? I mean, it was interesting. When I was in Ascendant going up against Fox Spirit, I still felt like it was within reach. But we'll see going into Gauntlet right here, right now, how it's going to go. Like, I'm going up against Sota right now. Which, of course, Sota, a longtime player, very good player, and has basically any of the main alluvials completely leveled up to 60. And this game, for sure, this round for sure, I feel like I'm just hitting a brick wall. Nothing that I can do here at all. So it definitely hits hard, I will say that. But at the same time, look at Soda's team. This team is absolutely ridiculous. How much of this is stat boost and how much of this is just finding the right alluvials? Not 100% sure as of this moment. So I'm one away from getting Umber. Was any... I should have checked this a long time ago, but was anybody else going for Umber? At least not in this pack that I'm looking at. I think I actually got rid of Chrome. Alright, there's the Umber. I don't want that there, to be honest. Do I level or keep searching? Part of me wants to keep searching. I'd love to be able to get maybe one more Scion. Or that boost. In fact, I'm going to level up a little bit going up against Soda right now. I'm probably going to get this Squiz completely taken out, but I want to have that Omega Power boost onto my Umber. Unfortunately, that Lynx is going directly for me. Granted, it's not doing too much damage as of this moment. I should optimally, I think, have this on the Umber instead. I mean, I don't know. I'm so torn. Yeah, Umber's going to get shut down. It gets one alluvial, and then it just all kind of collapses from there. Is that enough to kill me? Almost. Almost, almost. Okay, Octius, welcome. Harbinger does what now? It's just resistances and Omega Power? I mean, that's good, but I feel like I need to hit harder now. Let's do something like that for now, I suppose. Dualef, hello there. And I should have been going a little bit faster to try and find Mammoth. Would I have been able to find it? No, I wouldn't have. But a valiant attempt nonetheless. We're up against Spartak here, potentially to knock me out. We do have 3 Steam online now that Dualef is here. Dualef is surprisingly tanky as this moment, but the untargetable is just not coming out. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered for the Rampy Omega anyway. But I don't feel like that hit its mark, but we do at least stay alive one more round here. That one Umber was able to carry on, and I'm curious if the snowballing effect was a big difference maker there. Like, all of that is just Omega damage coming out there from the Umber. Nicely done. You have some energy resistance now with the air, physical resistance from Earth. It's so irritating that I still have a the Tofi here. Yeah, targetable for 2 seconds. I'm surprised. Either I'm just completely missing it, or I don't see it working. Maybe do a little bit of a better job of protecting Dualef from rampy dives. Would be wise. I'd put Harbinger on Umber, and here's the thing. Old Harbinger, yes, 100%. But with it now being based off of health procs, gaining resistance and Omega Power, I mean, that's a lot of Omega Power, but I have to get hurt. I'm very torn about it. It didn't really work out the last couple times I tried it. Huh. Okay, let's see. We've got another one. Reduce healing efficiency. Remind me who's leading this thing. Soda? I mean, I still need to get through Antoshino here. Steal energy? Gauntlet, take this. I am way too damn slow with this game, my goodness. My Umber's gonna dive directly into the middle of so many. This is terrible. The dodge is definitely going to save my bacon a little bit, but nowhere near as much as it used to. I might have just threw being too damn slow. I mean, that Dualef positioning, though, look at the shot. Come on, shoot this damn thing. Look at that shot right through so many. But I don't have the damage to do so. I know I could have played that better, but unfortunately, we will end up falling here. In 4th place. Very, very tough. And the old habits are going hard. I'm sitting here thinking I need to hit 6 water for a threshold, when in all reality, I just need to be at 5. Have a damn Goliath on the bench. I could have switched things around ever so slightly. But let's quickly take a look at the experience. So, of course, experience only gets given if you win the round. And I do have the 2x booster on. So Axon, that was on there for a little while, got 1,300, it looks like. Stoic Zephyrwings, this thing's been here forever in that fight. And it's looking like 1,300 essentially across the board. So, a dramatic drop compared to what I used to get in the last patch. Even with the booster, granted, a lot of it was doing to me losing. But I don't know. That was a hell of a difference. Now, of course, let's send off our final two players here that have ascended for some heads-up alluvium. In this one, we have Antashino, who's up there currently fighting for their life up against lobby leader Sota. Sota, who's got the mixture of Spore nature actually coming on through here. Where Spore got a little bit of a change as well, where anytime any of your opponent's allies faint, you actually lose attack damage and Omega power for 5 seconds. That can absolutely snowball out of control to the point where it feels like you're doing absolutely nothing. In this instance here, even with the Furiox in the background shooting away, it just doesn't look like they're making a dent at all here. Soda showing us off here with what you can do with Spore. And is that going to be the way you get the win in this one? It absolutely will be. GG's. All right. So I'm going to keep queuing up for Gauntlet. I've got time for one more here, but oddly enough, for someone who's in the position like myself, who's a middle-of-the-road player, if I'm really trying to focus on leveling up, I don't know. If I was match made up against people in my skill level, I mean, Gauntlet would for sure be the way to go for experience. But for a lot of my alluvials there, like, say, Umber, for example, they only got 200 experience for those rounds. I could have gotten that in Ascendant in 4 minutes. Spore's too strong. It definitely looked good right there, I'll tell you that. It did not look like there was anything that anyone could do to actually stop that. So Spore, for the first time, I feel like, since I've been playing this game, seems to be looking pretty good. If not unkillable, we'll have to see. Because, I mean, it's not the first time we've seen Vermilia or Vermiliere in a good spot. When Rogue Revenant, of course, was a thing, Vermiliere was an all-star there. But it wasn't necessarily due to the Spore aspect, it was just for the Revenant. But now is it back up towards the S-tier side of things because of Spore? That's interesting. Alright, who do we got into this one? A relatively full lobby, actually. We do have Sota Hype returning. See if they can make it 2 wins in a row here. Warrior Ace, Hector, Pharaoh, Dr. Spoon. 6 out of 8. Awesome to see. We got Crystal Shores once again. Free shop reroll after every round. GGI was lost on the most of the game. So many things have changed. Absolutely. Heck, I know I was having a hard time too. But it looks like Spore is looking good, at least off the start that you showed us there today. My muscle memory sees the red and the blue and says, oh yeah, Restorating Impact Reactor, go for it. But I'd argue the current version that acts similar to it is maybe not necessarily one you want to go for. Okay, Caribou, you're welcome to join. Yeah, every time an alluvial dies, yours or the enemy, so it's so easy to actually proc that. It's really, really good. We've got Full Metal Rat. This player is a bot, but as we can see, they do actually have some alluvials with stats now, which is quite nice. I mean, they're going to give me a Vermilia. Should I take a shot at this? I mean, it's lining up that I could. Yeah. Let's give this a shot. Let's see, how would I like to do this? Part of me wants to pull up the article with all the augments on it. As a reminder, 'cause even though I did the video on the augments that just went live today, still can't remember exactly what does what. What combines into what, rather. To take the synergy, I'm going to turn this into Bulwark just for some health. Up against Warrior Race, they've already leveled up twice, so they definitely got the advantage in terms of numbers. And it looks like even though we will fight hard, we will end up falling here as well. The pure damage can't get hyper. Thorns, no thank you. Another Bulwark one? You know what, I'm going to try this. Normally I go for so many Bulwarks. Just naturally. However, if I can skip most of them and just make up the difference with chips, because I'm just getting health, right? It's no defenses, it's just health. Maybe we can try a one super tank kind of style with a heavy offense. Very interesting, very curious. Okay, Archosis here, we've got this as well, and I'm actually probably not even going to really use it. Kuka, I'll gladly have you on board. Let's switch out the Scion, get the Kuka here. Take front. Trade you out for now. Something like this for now. Of course, Aegis no longer actually relies on your positioning. I can be using this and it's just proccing resistances and shields at certain health thresholds. On the Twitch side of things, Gear. Now you're early. What the heck, man? Yeah, this was just a bonus. After yesterday's stream where you basically heard the kids screaming the entire time, debating on trying the morning time slot once again. But also, I wasn't planning on streaming today either. But the new patch dropped, so I wanted to get involved on that as quickly as I could. Attack augment keeps disappearing there. I'm not sure if you can see that. Feeling a little better overall? Not too bad for right now. Let's hope it stays that way. Hopefully you're doing good as well. Okay, Caribou is there. There we go. Up against Dr. Spoon. Frontline you guys. Heck, I'll even frontline Archos. Something like this. Come around. Links come this way too. And why is this augment not letting me pick it? Bruh. Okay. Let's... That's rather annoying. On attacking... Okay, that's the one that has the shield here. I was tripping for a little bit. Take the stacking Omega power. Getting ready for a doctor's appointment. Hopefully all is good. Level-wise, I'm still level 4. Dr. Spoon currently being shown as level 5. But I do have a lot more evolutions. But of course, Dr. Spoon's collection is rather incredible. Right-clicking on the links to try and show it off, but it's not going to let me. But I think we're going to just barely scrape by just because of the amount of evolutions that we've had. Because, yeah, my links isn't too bad. It has the DPS stuff that we're looking for. And there is Kuka. There we go. Are you going to let me pick you up? Nope. Not again, eh? Alright. Health onto our tank. Another Vermilio. Yes, please. Yeah, it's not going to let me touch it at all. Well, that's interesting. Guess I'm in the penalty box in terms of augments. We'll bring Graco out here for now. This will let us hit that 5 bulwark mark for maximized HP. Graco will probably get replaced, though, eventually. Up against Sota now. Absolutely incredible little links, and we are going to see Sota probably run me over here. Absolutely going to be able to do so. It's kind of interesting what they've done with the air side of things, because before, while air didn't necessarily have a true tank, they would be able to get the same effect, at least, based off of dodge. Now they're kind of in the same spot, while they don't have necessarily a true bulwark. By going for air, you're still getting a lot of energy resist, so you still inadvertently end up being kind of tanky. That's funny, my Charge Force reactor isn't even showing up down here anymore. Hey, well, at least it happened on video. I can submit that bug report later. Up against Hector this time by, with a lot of emphasis being placed onto this little Lynx. Look at this guy, level 55, nearly perfect. But it is still a little Lynx. It might have good stats, but it is still just a little guy. Can we focus down this thing? My DPS is kind of stuck over on the right-hand side. And it's going to be there's so much time for Hector's squad to tear on through. Okay, you can actually see the little icon for the booster there, so you can see that Hector has it as well. Interesting. Omega stuns, I like that. Let's do that. Level 5, let's get this moving. One, two. You get levels. You get a level. You get a level. You get a level. Now we get rid of Graco. Vermilia could come back. Something like that. And we'll freeze there for now. Making it so currently it's going to be the Vermilia or the Vermiliaire. Wrong one on both occasions. Verminio would end up snowballing the more it hits shields. And I'm curious if it could then just turn into an absolute nuke come to the later stages, assuming it actually survives, which is of course going to be a tough task. How many Archoses are there? There really isn't any. More air might not be a bad idea. And physical resistance might not be a bad idea either, but I'm going to go for air this time. Let's give it to Caradulo. Oh, my charge... My... Definitely not Graviton Piercer. Yeah, this thing just bugged right the heck out. I'm going to leave it alone. Take some space. One more Lynx. Cling. But I was going to chill on the tanks. Let's actually make sure I follow my word. Maybe we replace Caradulo in a second here. Okay. HP for you. Make power composite synergy. I don't think I have the synergy ready that I want yet. Yeah, this might be preemptive, but for the sake of my board, do this. Sell off Caradulo. Lynx. There you go. Fighter Lynx, loaded up, ready to go. Archies, can we find you as well? Kuka, we found you here. Let's switch this up and call this Tempest for now. One more Archie, please. One more Archie. I should have grabbed the Vermilia. Bugger. Going too quick for my own good. Gonna get a lot of credits used and we're not gonna score anything, so that was a little bit heartbreaking. Even though there are currently no other Archoses on the field. And my Lynx is still here, but of course it's not going to have the sustain needed to keep itself going. It's too far away, but actually nothing's been able to really damage it. I feel like I'm not taking any damage at all. I mean, nobody's focusing me right now, so duh, but I mean... When that gorilla was on top of me, it felt like it did nothing. What is happening to this Lynx? That doesn't feel right in the slightest. Let's level up to 6. We already have enough of the air side of things. Throw you on here for now. Yeah, let's just do this. Can I get maybe another Tempest? More Tempest. Let's do it. Tempest to now. Allies gain energy, enemies lose it. Let me keep an eye on Lynx. Okay, no, it's behaving properly. Where am I getting this healing? Somebody call me crazy, but where am I getting this healing from? I get the shield from Aegis, that's basically... Yeah, that's strange. Like, it does take damage. I don't know. Is it thundering for you? Finally, like, first couple thunderstorms of the season, or of the year, rather. Fair enough. I know it was doing it a little bit overnight as well. Alright, Archie, where are you? I'm spending so much credits trying to finalize this, and I'm going to get burnt again. And there's no other Archos on the field. Wow. I'm an idiot. There's one right in front of me. Hector has one. Oh my god. How did I miss that? I am blind as a bat. Okay, this round I should absolutely lose. So if this Lynx somehow pulls this off... Oh, on ally feints, team gets more shield. Is that where that's coming from? I mean, let's see. I still don't think this is necessarily right. Oh, no. It does go down. Okay, so I just wasn't used to the new empath then. Now, after spending like 40 credits, we do finally get ourselves our Archelion. We can now actually start leveling to the next section. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, Verminio. Dive towards the carry, why don't you? So now we've got Verdant online as well, which my tanks should be able to proc rather quickly. Alright, my Lynx absolutely exploded this time. Same thing with Verminio, oh god. Guess a Tempest ain't gonna help me there, at least not this time. Okay, level up to 7. Potentially keep this one. Just give you a dive buddy for now. Even though I know 6 air doesn't technically do anything different. But if I were to, I guess, play this the way I'm supposed to, I should be looking at the fact that there's actually not much energy damage here at all. This is all physical coming out here from Sota. This is majority physical coming out here from Dr. Spoon. There's so much physical, but yet I have air, so it's not necessarily very wise. Let's go for some shield. Let's level up one more time. Let's get our Adorito, or Ador rather, into the fray. Optimally, I need one of these to be blue so I can have a support augment, I think. These lines. Really don't want the links to be up front. Sukaraf can back them up. Where's the synergy come from? Another air. We're already maxed out on empaths. Do this for all bulwark. We essentially run right into a brick wall. Let's see, from Dr. Spoon here, I mean, it's not even... I mean, I guess Berserker's kind of helping alongside that sustain for at least a couple of those, but I didn't make a damn dent onto like half of this team. Now I'm within kill shot here. Let's see. Starting energy. I mean, I've got plenty of energy coming in. Rejuvenating, I guess. Oh, that didn't click. That's great. Okay, let's make this switch. Spore Aegis is now here. Can we find potentially one more? And I'm too damn slow. Half of my stuff isn't even connecting in terms of what I'm actually trying to get it to do. But I definitely need to be faster. What I was hoping was to be able to get that bulwark imprint on there. I would have had a lot more health for this fight. I still have augments that aren't placed, that aren't created. And a lot of this is due to me being rusty, 100%. But I definitely feel like I'm falling behind a little bit. But I'm pretty certain it's skill issue, not design issue. Let's see, can my links potentially finish off this game? At least Kukuraf is still here, just being an absolute stun bot. And we do have Spore as well, which might have been able to help turn the tides a little bit. Spore Aegis coming on through and keeping me in the game, knocking out Pharaoh. As we are one away from potentially having Vermilier here as well. There we go. Hello, big guy. Okay, let's first and foremost, let's get this bulwark here so we've got all 5. Let's get this with the untargetability, ascend onto Vermilier. Let's then turn this into healing reduction. Sure. Let's throw Vermilier directly into the center of the squad. This is 6 air, 3 spore, 3 tempest Aegis. Vermilier all the way in the corner, right in the sweet spot, doing a good little nuke. It's going to go untargetable the first time, right in time to deliver yet a second little nuke. Granted, it's not hitting that heavily. Not really messing up in terms of shields. So while the damage is going down, I am still losing the numbers game. Vermilier, it did its best. Heck, that was a fun team to build. but it's not going to be enough to take care of Soda. Not this time, and I should be getting sent out on my way here in just a matter of time. As I live with 1 HP. Okay, we're still in this. Hang on. I do not have enough to level. What upgrade could I potentially do in this scenario? The Omega's just strictly off Omega power, right? Yeah, it's all just Omega power, so attack damage does nothing for me here. I guess making a Flood? Make a Flood and put it towards the front line? Something along those lines. Familiar on the suicide mission, diving on through right towards 2 fighters, 3 fighters, and a Furiox. But the untargetability should hopefully make them move away. Back and forth, not too bad. Oh, he just got chunked anyway. Okay, if there was supposed to be a second a second untargetable section, I did not see it. We will still end up falling here. Dr. Spoon gonna take me out in just a moment's time, I'm sure. But what this makes me want to do really, really badly is just hop into Ascendant and just keep experimenting with team comps. The one thing that's so nice about it is that you get to an in-game or the end-game scenario so much faster. So you can kind of experiment with these team comps much quicker. So I'm definitely going to be doing that throughout the day today. That's 2 4th places that I end up getting. If we do take a look at the experience side of things, a couple of the alluvials that did make it right around like the beginning of the game. Getting close up at 1,000 experience here. For the Verminio, for example, I saw Ebb even leveled up quite a bit there. Archos is going to be getting just a little bit above 1,000. Everybody else just getting a couple hundred, so it looks like. But in terms of the battle at hand, let's take a look at our final players in this one in just a moment's time. We've got 3 still here. No worries, Gear. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you dropping by. Hope you have a fantastic rest of the day. I'll give you a shout later on. Let's take a look at Dr. Spoon versus Hector. We do have what looks like Dr. Spoon in the green here with the Berserker for Berserkers Online. Meanwhile, on the other side here for Hector, we have a whole heck of a lot of nature Verdants, going all the way up to 7, 3 Verdants Online as well with Templar Aegis. It's a pretty good little mix, but I think that Dr. Spoon just hits these higher thresholds. While it may not be giving you a super big effect, it's giving you some big stats to the point where that Phosphorus just got completely destroyed. There are a ton of shields here on the side of Hector, but it is just getting absolutely shredded through anyway. Dr. Spoon's squad just doing absolute work onto this corner. I mean, this corner is tanking as best as it could, having so much additional healing from nature, and Verdant is keeping it alive. But Hector will end up falling. That will be the knockout blow, which means we have now ascended to some heads-up alluvium here, where Dr. Spoon and Sota are going to take fight. We've got Toxic, we've got Fire and Inferno with Mud additionally here as well, to try and maybe mess with the fighting attack speed that we do see coming out here for Dr. Spoon's squad. Look at this build coming out here for the Furiox. This is absolutely incredible. I'm not gonna lie, part of me got scared a little bit when I seen 3 of the same augment on a single alluvial. Part of me was getting a little bit of flashbacks from the last patch, if you know what I mean. But let's see how this goes. Inferno to the skies here for Sota to try and shred things down. Ramp fight to the skies is going to get completely just mitigated and knocked out of the sky. This Rip Lance is going absolutely nuts here for Dr. Spoon. What absolute devastation coming on through. Not enough to eliminate Sota, but damn, was that a decisive battle. Sota only level 8 as well, making it extremely difficult to try and deal with this numbers disadvantage. Leveling up to 9, see if they can potentially find some sort of upgrade. On the verge of finding Titanor. On the verge of finding Scoriox. I don't think they found either. They're going to try one more time. Oh no, they got the Titanor. Titanor is here. And that, oh my god, that is a beautiful Titanor. Did see Umber flash up as well, but I don't actually see an Umber on the screen, so we'll have to see how that goes for now. But look at that Titanor coming out here from Dr. Spoon, just absolutely stunning up that back line. The Arcanite being thrown, or the Berserker rather, thrown onto that Furiox to try and get something done here for Sota. It's not going to be enough here, just too tanky, too devastating, and that is going to be Dr. Spoon taking the win here in this game. GG's everybody. With that, we've hit the end of our stream for today, but I do have a couple final thoughts here, just kind of in regards to the new patch as well. I'm not going to lie, having this to relearn the game a little bit, it's kind of exciting here for me. I'm not upset trying to experiment with things, especially since we now do have Ascendant, like I was saying before, to experiment with endgame team compositions before we actually go to Gauntlet. I actually really like this. The one thing that I hope that Illuvium does, though, is not completely segregate the player base by putting one game mode over the other. Again, I was kind of a little bit worried. Again, it's all still speculation because it wasn't necessarily an announcement of sorts. But they did make an announcement for Ascendant getting leaderboards. I have not seen anything about Gauntlet getting leaderboards here in the arena. I think that'd be very heartbreaking if Ascendant is the only thing getting anything and Gauntlet is basically left to rot. I really hope that doesn't end up being the case. I get it, it's a little bit frustrating because now you have two leaderboards, two separate prizes for two different ladders. But I tell you what, Gauntlet, it's already hard enough to try and find a game with 6 players inside of it. If Gauntlet doesn't have rewards, but Ascendant does, I feel like we're just never going to see anything but bots in Gauntlet, which is going to be extremely, extremely heartbreaking. But in terms of how this patch is playing, I'm enjoying it. I'm still a little bit on edge of the fact that ownership and leveling, for example, just has that much more of a stranglehold onto the game. And past patches, even as somebody with a lot of level 40s, I can put in a decent fight versus level 60s. Now, no chance. Granted, my teams probably weren't that great, they weren't leveled and whatnot, and that is on me. However, there is such a discrepancy in terms of like how it feels. Like if I went up against Dr. Spoon or I went up against Fox Spirits in Gauntlet, for example, I just knew that I had lost. I would go up against Sota. I just knew that, okay, I'm probably dying no matter what. And that was the case for most of this, just because I didn't have the levels. So hopefully with the XP booster, this will help me catch up a little bit. But with XP being distributed, being based off of actually winning rounds, the more I keep running into these top players, the harder it's going to be for me to level up. So it's an interesting problem, but I don't know. I'm still kind of torn about it, but again, this is still within the first couple hours of the patch being out. I'm sure tomorrow, of course, we're still going to have a stream tomorrow, but it's going to be strictly casting related. I want to see us queuing up. We'll try and see if maybe we can do a mixture of Ascendant and Gauntlet, but I have to see if I can actually spectate Ascendant games. If I can't spectate Ascendant games, then it's just going to be pure Gauntlet. But either way, it'll be back to me casting your matches. I look forward to seeing what all of you create, because I'm going to be learning just as much as everybody else while casting this thing. And it will be a fun time overall. But that will be it for me for now. Again, anybody who happens to also be wondering what exactly all of the augments do, I did just throw a video up onto YouTube explaining everything. I couldn't remember it on the fly here in the match. Heck, I might have to go reference my own video to see exactly what every augment does in the new patch. And then, of course, last but not least, if you happen to be fueling up for either the XP boost or Illuvium Beyond or something in the Illuvidex, I do have a referral code now. My code is Silent. You can throw that in your profile settings on the Illuvidex. And of course, not mandatory, but if you do, it definitely means a lot, and I thank you so much.
Again, I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be going at our other time slot, though. We're going to be in the afternoon, so it's going to be a 3:30 p.m. start my time, 8:30 UTC. But until then, thank you once again for tuning in. It's been a fantastic stream, and I look forward to more tomorrow. See you later.